Hi AP kids, and welcome to another video. So today we have a guest speaker with us all the way from 1392, Sir Russell Fox from the Canterbury Tales. Do I have to wear this mask? No, you don't have to. I'm sorry, you don't have to wear the mask. Oh, so much better. So anyway, he's here to add some levity and frivolity to some serious subjects, and we're going to have some fun and learn all about the diagnostic essay you're going to be taking next week. Okay, so let's take a look here. Right now, this is not supposed to be the best essay you write this year. We would not suspect that, but we do want it to be the best you can do today. So what happens is we give this diagnostic every year, and every year it seems that the kids get overwhelmed and they don't do the best they can. So these are very common things we hear after we read your diagnostic essay. Things like, I just freaked out and couldn't get started, or I was scared of running out of time, so I didn't plan and just started writing, or by the time I really had a good idea, I was rushed, and then sometimes I just vomited words on the page, I'm a terrible person, I don't deserve to be a student in your AP class. And of course, we don't want you to have any of these, so hopefully we're going to have this little video, give you some ideas for next week. These are steps you need to take. The very first step you take a deep breath and relax. You are good students, so you stress about school stuff. Your school stuff will suffer if you stress. This is a paradox. I thought a paradox was two doctors. No, okay, pretty funny. All right, so you have to take a deep breath and relax. This is not the worst thing that'll ever happen. You'll get through it. Okay, you got a lot of essays coming up, and you'll get better at it. Step 2, read the prompt. The prompt may give you a very brief passage to read. This is not to be analyzed. This is not like a number 2 prompt. This is called a number 3, an argumentative prompt. Okay, it's simply for reference. Or the prompt may ask a simple question. Either way, the last couple sentences will identify your task. Okay. Why do you have a cat? The cat's reading. It's Kill the Mockingbird. It's funny. You know why cats don't use prepositional phrases? I don't know. They prefer the claws. That's stupid. All right, moving on. Identify the task given you in the prompt. So older prompts might say support, refute, or qualify. Now, even though the wording's changed, we'll be using old prompts during the year. So if it says support, it just means that the idea that's presented in the prompt you totally agree with. Refute means you totally disagree with it. Or qualify, you agree with it partially. You're still making a stand though. You're still taking a position. You do not want to say, well, it's a little bit right and a little bit wrong and then talk about both sides. No, you want to say it's right if you qualify it slightly, okay? Other prompts may use wording such as to what extent. So to what extent do you agree with Oppenheimer's view on atomic energy or something like that? Probably a bad example. But to what extent? So you don't have to agree with it totally, but to what extent do you? It also might say take a position on. So they'll give you a scenario and then take a position one way or the other. But take a position. You're never playing both sides. Now, okay, you can chime in when you want, and he is here on a voluntary basis. So you said you'd buy me chicken. Later, we'll talk about it. All right. So it's very important that you know what is being asked of you. Remember, a great essay off topic is a 0. All right. Likewise, if the prompt asks you to do 2 things, both are expected. You can't just do one. Okay. So to be very careful when you read the prompt, make sure you know what it's asking of you. And then, like I said, I don't think it will ever ask you to do 3 things. It might, but it can very well ask you to do 2 different things. Okay. To know what the task is. All right, number 4, decide on your topic and develop a thesis statement. You have to have a thesis statement, okay? It's a whole point in this. And so you really need to write a thesis statement. There's a strong temptation to start writing after reading the prompt. Resist this temptation. Your first paragraph or two will end up being garbage as you try to gain traction and find your main point. We call this Scooby-Dooing. Now, your homework assignment is to go home and watch Scooby-Doo, and whenever Scooby-Doo and Shaggy see something that's really scary, they take off running. But when they start running, their feet are moving, but they're not moving yet, right? You hear that music, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and they're trying to run. That's called Scooby-Dooing. You're just spinning your wheels, okay? And if you start writing before you have a thesis statement, a bullseye, okay, what you're going to do is just the first couple paragraphs are just going to be spinning, and then you'll get started, but you waste a lot of time. So we call that Scooby-Dooing. You don't want your first couple paragraphs to be like that. Okay. Now, number 5 is jot down your 4 ideas, or 3 or 4 ideas to support you. Why do we have a fox in the picture? You didn't have a fox in the picture anywhere else. I know, but that's no reason. It's not even my best side. Okay, anyway, we got a picture of the fox there. These will become your body paragraphs. Okay, jot down 4 ideas, 3 or 4 ideas, and then you're going to build your support from there. So some other points. Remember, your thesis is your bullseye. Write it and use it. Put it at the end of your introductory paragraph. It's the best place to put it. Don't Scooby-Doo your introduction paragraph. If you have one, and it's not required that you have an introductory paragraph, but it is helpful. So if you have an introductory paragraph, it should be like a table of contents for your essay. Okay, the first sentence should be a brief summary of your first point. Second sentence could be a brief summary of your second point. Third sentence could be a brief summary of your third point. And then the fourth sentence could be your thesis statement. If you're going to have an introductory paragraph, that's what it should be. And kind of similar for your conclusion. First sentence could summarize your first paragraph and so forth. And then you definitely want to restate your thesis. Indent. More is safer than less. It helps the reader to adjust to new ideas. Okay, if you just see a whole page of words, it's just very daunting on the reader. Okay, so when you shift ideas, of course, you indent. But it's okay to have one sentence as a paragraph. If for effect, or if there's a reason for that, more indentation is better than less indentation. It's really important on the visual aspect. Try to connect your supporting ideas in some organizational manner and transition from one to another. If you have a paragraph talking about space travel and the very next paragraph is talking about the Declaration of Independence, there might be a connection to that, but you want it to read like an essay, not 3 different paragraphs. Okay, so if you have a reason, maybe one should come before the other. Okay, so think about that so that they don't, I'm like, wow, how do we get here? Have a transition. I know we're asking you to do a lot in 40 minutes. Try to, okay. And then the last one, restate your thesis at the end, okay? And often that can be the first sentence of your conclusion, but it shouldn't be word for word, as just restating it, okay? So it's a lot to remember, but hopefully these points will help for your diagnostic essay next week. Anything else there, Sir Russell Fox? Send chicken. All right, enough of you.